All right, recording for Aubrey. We are on the second half of 5-4. We're going to talk a little bit more about these two things, right? Okay. So we've learned angle, side, angle, 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 side. Just as review, you don't have to write this down. Angle, side, angle, 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 side. What were the other two? Side, 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 and side, angle, side. What do we use these for? Used to prove two triangles congruent. That's a symbol for congruent, right? We use those rather than listing out all 6 things, like all 3 angles, all 3 sides. We can do just 3 at a time, right? And use to prove that 2 triangles are congruent. All right. The ones that we just previously learned were angle, side, angle, 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 side. What I want to do really quick is, let's do a proof, actually. Let's do... Yeah, let's do this one. Go to example 3. We'll do this one. Let's do example 3. Go to example 3. They have it. Maybe we'll do example 3 and we'll do the check, and then I want to do one other thing. Okay? All right, we got 2 proofs to do, and then you're done. And then we got to add one thing to your yellow sheet. So 2 proofs, yellow sheet, you're done. I am going to add 2 more proofs to the homework assignment, 10 and 11. So you have 6 total homework problems. So add that to your homework sheet, 10 and 11. 10 and 11. Don't forget it. Okay, do that right now. 10 and 11. You can throw away the second page of homework, but 10 and 11, add that. Got it? All right, here we go. Let's do 2 proofs. We're on example 3. Okay, they ask for a... All right, I'll let everybody finish throwing away.
I threw mine out the trash can.
Sure, whatever. All right. Example 3. They asked for a flow proof. This is what a flow proof looks like. I don't like flow proofs. I want to do a 2-column proof because they're like more formal and more organized than a flow proof. So here we go. When we're doing a proof, what do you title the tops?
Statements and reasons.
S and R, statements and reasons. Okay, write this down on example 3. Statements, reasons. All right, here we go. Example 3. We're putting it over here off to the side. Statements, reasons. Here's our diagram that we have. And let's write down what we're given. Oh, and I put an inventory off to the side. I would get into the habit of doing that because it makes proofs a lot easier. Okay? We're trying to prove that these 2 triangles are congruent. They look like they are, but we don't know that for sure. So here's what we've got. They tell me, first and foremost, I'm going to go piece at a time. They say that RQ is congruent to ST. That is given to me. Okay? That's given. All right, write that down off to the side in your column. Go. Example 3. All right, that is covering this tick mark. RQ and ST, those are the same. That gives you a side, Trevin said. So in your inventory, put side. Okay? Next, the next thing is that this is true. What does that mean? What do these 2 little lines mean? Parallel. Okay. So this one's what you're going to have to work for. We know that RQ is parallel to ST. That's also given. Okay, given. All right, now, that doesn't give me anything in my inventory yet. I have to use that to find something. This is a hard one. Like, how do you get from parallel lines to doing all the things, right? So, we've got to decide. Well, that's not vertical angles yet. We'll get to that. Okay, so, if these 2 lines are parallel, which one do you want to use as your transversal? RT, sure. Okay, so this is the one that Ella wants to use as the transversal. If that's my transversal and these 2 lines are parallel, which 2 angles have to be the same? This angle right here and this angle right here. This is R, and is this T down here at the bottom? Can I just say angle R is congruent to angle T, or do I have to use 3 letters?
You can use them. You should probably use 3 letters.
Can I get away with calling this angle R, and this angle T, and not naming it with 3 letters? If I say angle R, there's no doubt that I'm talking about this angle, right? But what about you? What if I'm talking about you? I do have to name that with 3 letters. Does that make sense? Because there's actually technically 4 angle U's, right? If I do the top and the bottom. But if I say angle R, there's no question I'm talking about that angle R, and there's no question I'm talking about angle T, all right? Now, I'm going to say angle R is congruent to angle T. How do I know that? What are those? Alternate interior. Here's my parallel lines. Here's my transversal. Those are alternate interior angles, yeah? Alternate interior angles. That's that. That gave me a what? Angle. Okay. What else do I know?
Wait, go back. I can't see.
What else do I know? What?
Well, is like the U's, are they?
Can I say the U's are the same? Like this U is the same as that U? Sure. I could do vertical angles. So vertical angles. And what's the left U called? Angle? R-U-Q is congruent to angle?
S-U-T.
S-U-T. Okay, vertical angles. Now I have another angle. All right, so if I have them labeled like that, I have this side, and I have this angle, and I have this angle. Is that angle side angle, or is that angle angle side?
Angle side.
That's angle angle side, right? So I can say the triangles are congruent by angle angle side. Triangle R-U-Q is congruent to triangle T-U-S. Now, really quick, if these 2 lines are parallel, and I look at this being my transversal, can I say that this angle is the same as this one? Yeah? Then I could have done angle, angle, side this way, or actually, I don't have to use the vertical angles. I could have done angle, side, angle, right? Could I have done that? I could have done a lot of things, right? Okay, so there is that. They wanted us particularly to use angle, angle, side, but I could have done angle, side, angle as well. But that's what that proof looks like. Got it? Yeah? Angle, angle, side. Got it. Yeah? Okay, let's skip this proof. I said we're going to do a second one, but let's not do a second one. Let's do something else. I'm going to have you go to your yellow sheet. You got to write something down on your yellow sheet. Go to your yellow sheet. We're going to put something down that's really important. Yeah. We're going to write down. Put this on your sheet. This is CPCTC. CPCTC. Okay. Blah 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 blah. Okay, don't write this down. But I'm gonna show you when CPCTC is used, right? Okay, so in the proof, right, that like pay attention to this because this is kind of important. Okay? No, don't write this down, but pay attention. This is important. Okay? Given and prove. This is always what you're given, what you're trying to prove, right? Okay? I'm going to use the same diagram as up there, but I'm going to like redraw it, right? So let's say I have this going on. I have A, B, C, D. There's that.
Do we draw that?
No, don't draw any of this. Just watch. Just watch. Make sure you're paying attention. Okay, we're given a bunch of junk, right? Normally, what they will say is they are trying to prove that triangle ABD is congruent to triangle CDB, right? Like that's what we would normally be trying to prove, that this triangle is the same as this one, okay? But sometimes, and I know they've done it already on your homework assignment, Jordan brought this to my attention like 2 days ago, and he was like, wait a second, this proof doesn't say prove that the triangles are congruent. This proof says prove that AD is congruent to CB. Like, prove that this is the same as that, right? Like, how do I do that? They're not having me prove the triangles are congruent, but they're having me prove that those 2 sides are congruent, right? Okay? So what I do is I go through all of the steps to prove that the triangles are congruent, right? So I do all the things, and I do my statements, and I do my reasons, and I do all my blah, 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 blah. And then I get to the point where, like, I don't remember. This last one we proved with angle, angle, side. So I'll just do that as an example. By angle, angle, side, we know that triangle ABD is congruent to triangle CDB. Like I know that by angle, angle, side, but that's not my last statement. That's not my last line of my proof because I still need to prove that AD is congruent to CB, right? I still need to prove that, okay? But here's the deal. If this triangle is congruent to this one, will these two sides match? Yes, and that is by this, CPCTC, which means congruent. You can write this down. Congruent parts of congruent, CONGRUENT, triangles are congruent. That was a lot of the use of that word. Congruent parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Okay, so let me explain to you what that means. I know that these triangles are congruent. So they are congruent triangles, right? And the congruent parts, so the parts that go together, are these two sides. Those two sides would match up. So matching parts of these two congruent triangles will be congruent, right? Congruent parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So when they say that, instead of your proof statement being that the two triangles match each other, your proof statement being that two parts match each other, you'll go through and you'll prove that the triangles will match, but your last statement will not be that. It will be CPCTC. Does that make sense? Okay, so that means, like, let's say number 3 on your homework assignment. Look at this one, right? This one is not having you prove that the triangles are congruent. Although you will get to the point where you will have triangle, I don't know, what do you want to call these two guys? ABD is congruent to triangle CBD, right? Okay, and that is by, I have no idea how, whatever. Maybe angle, side angle, I don't know.
It is angle, side angle.
Is it angle, side angle? Yeah. Like, because those two are the same, right? So by angle, side angle, you got to figure out this top part right here. Okay, but that won't be my last piece. My last piece will be saying AD, which is this side, is the same as DC, or CD, which is that side. How do I know that AD is congruent to CD? Because of CPCTC. That will be my last step, because congruent parts of congruent triangles are congruent. I don't stop at this step like I would normally. I keep going one more step saying, okay, if those two triangles are congruent, that means this side's the same as that one, right? Like I could keep going. Got it? Let me try to see if there's any other ones. Is there any other ones that do that? You had to do 2 and 3 and 5. Is 5 that way? No. Is 7 that way? No. I just added 10 and 11. Are they that way?
No.
No. So the only one is that's that way is number 3. Okay? So just so you know, if they don't say prove that the triangles are congruent, yes, you still have to do that, but the last step will be CPCTC. Does anybody have that besides Jacob on their maps test? Did they talk about CPCTC? Sorry. Now you know.
Yeah, and I got one of them wrong.
I'm sorry. Now you know. Now you know.
Yeah, must
Okay?
have been nice.
Good? Whatever. Okay? I think it's kind of fun, that CPCTC part. Okay? All right, good?
Fun?
That is all. Well, it's like, I don't know, whatever. Okay? You have 2 new proofs to do, so even if you were done with the first 4, you've got 2 left. And if you weren't done with the first 4, I'm giving you lots of time to work, right? Okay? Make sure that you're working. I'm giving you lots of time to work. Okay? All right, goodbye.